Hi, how are you doing? Today is Jordan Peterson lecture on neuroticism. Neuroticism breaks down into two parts, withdrawal and volatility. We'll get into that a bit. Neuroticism is a personality trait associated with negative emotion. We talked about that a little earlier in one of our other videos. Negative emotion covers a wide range of traits, including frustration, disappointment, pain, grief, threat avoidance, those type of things. Okay, so withdrawal. So when we withdraw, we can also fight. Right, that's the response that you hear about, the fight or flight response. There's actually three parts to that. It's fight, flight, and a freeze. So you think of a deer in the headlights, that kind of thing. Okay, so it's conflict avoidance really is what withdrawal will involve. So staying back, keeping out of situations that would heighten your defense systems and would really help you avoid. Well, it's an avoidance system. So avoiding conflict, that's a good idea, a good way to look at it. Volatility as well. People who are high in volatility are touchy, easily irritated, and unstable. Oh, I meant to say, people that are high in withdrawal are anxiety prone, self-conscious, depressive, and easily overwhelmed. So volatility. People are high in volatility can be described as touchy, easily irritated, and unstable. Now, as I carry on here, let me remind you, these are all from Jordan Peterson's lecture series on personality. Okay, these are not my points. These are all his, and I've just passed them on in short form. Okay, so people that are low in volatility can be described as stable, easygoing, and slow to anger. Okay, purpose of negative emotion again is protection against injury. So that's a good thing. It's a good way to look at it. It's the avoidance approach or approach avoidance part of things. Jeffrey Gray talks about the behavioral approach system. These are notes from Dr. Helen Noh. The BAS, as it's known, it involves the BIS, the Behavioural Inhibition System, involves the BAS and the FFSA, or FFS. Sorry. So that's the BIS is the Behavior Inhibition System, the BAS is the Behavioral Approach System, and the FFS is the Flight, Fight, or Freeze system. Okay? So people that are high in this neurotic trait tend to have depression. Now, depression can cause a person to feel sad, empty, hopeless, and guilty, and other negative emotions. Depression is commonly treated with antidepressants that have medications that are SSRIs, which are selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. Now, serotonin brings people down, while dopamine brings people up. So, serotonin, if it blocks the serotonin reuptake inhibitor, so it kind of brings it back to balance. If it balances those, it allows more dopamine to increase. So it kind of keeps the negative emotion, the negative part of serotonin, and allows more dopamine. Okay, so a good way to look at this with people is, do they have a meaningful job? I'm going to get to that. Enough education, fulfilled social life, good health, and use their free time meaningfully. Okay, I'm going to skip to the end because it's kind of long here, okay? So we talked about people who tend to be they freeze, really, when they're high in these traits, withdrawal, volatility. They feel blue, they're full of doubt, they feel easily threatened, feel depressed, worry about things, they're easily discouraged, and become overwhelmed by these traits, okay? That's other people that have a high volatility are associated with defensive or predatory aggression. They get angry easily, upset easily. They can't keep their emotions under control, and they change moods frequently. Okay, moods go up and down easily. They are easily annoyed. They get easily agitated. That's so bothersome, and they can be stirred up really easily. I like to stir the pot with people. I like to have fun with that, but that's just me. So hyper reactive to frustration, disappointment, and pain. So depression and anxiety disorders are more common in people with high levels of negative emotion. So withdrawal or neuroticism tend to have withdrawal and volatility, to wrap it all up, and high volatility, high withdrawal. And Jeffrey Gray talks about that in his book, The Neuropsychology of Anxiety. If you want to have a look at that, it's a pretty heavy book, man. I read it, but it's really, you know what? I'm not that smart. So, but I've read it and I've got a little bit of it. But Helen Noh was my teacher in another class I took personality, and she was great. So have a good day, and nice talking to you again.